Ted Williams, thank you very much. Bob Costas, I know a story about Ted Williams would go out into the outfield up in Fenway and stand just below the scoreboard because he'd hear the radio being played by the scorekeeper to see how DiMaggio was doing that day. We don't have those kinds of moments in baseball.
And then he would pass the information on from left field to center field to Joe's brother Dom, who was the Red Sox center fielder. He got another hit. He's at 46.
Right. Ted
Williams, by the way, you know he is John Wayne. Listen to the cadence of his voice and the 2 stints in the Army, World War II, and in Korea with the Marines. He really is John Wayne in a baseball uniform. One last thought about DiMaggio. I was lucky enough to know him, not that well, but I did know him. And he came to St. Louis once for a charity banquet. Stan Musial and some others were there. And I went to his hotel room to check on him about 2 hours before the banquet was to start. Knocked on the door. He was traveling alone. He answered the door already fully dressed in his tuxedo, starched shirt, cufflinks in place, and he had a yellow legal pad at the desk, and he was writing his speech. And Tom, as you know, at sports banquets, nobody writes their speech. People get up, they tell the same old anecdotes, or they scribble some remarks on the back of a napkin. But this goes to that oft-quoted observation of DiMaggio when he was asked, why do you always play so hard? Because somebody might be seeing me for the first time, or in this case, maybe for the last time. And he was writing out the whole speech very meticulously, make sure every I was dotted, every T was crossed. And then when I came back to get him a couple hours later and take him down to the banquet room, as we left the room, he looked at me and said, is my tie straight?
You know, the thing about Joe DiMaggio was that he occupied a place that only Joe DiMaggio could know, and he was never not Joe DiMaggio, and I think that's a great tribute to his life as well. Thank you very much, Bob Costas and Ted Williams down in Florida. It's now coming up in 7:16. Let's go to Katie.
Thank you, Tom. Now to a case of international espionage. On Monday,